The U.S. government remains in partial shutdown as political deadlock in Congress shows no signs of easing. President Trump's funding plan has been rejected for the fourth time, with Democrats holding firm on health care demands. Federal services are disrupted and nearly 750,000 workers are furloughed. Here's a detailed report on the ongoing crisis and how it compares to past shutdowns.
The U.S. government shutdown is expected to continue into next week after Senate Republicans led by President Trump faced a fourth rejection of their funding proposal. Federal agencies have been without funding since Wednesday, forcing the closure of tourist sites, delaying economic data, and placing around 750,000 federal workers on furlough. At the center of the deadlock is a Democratic demand to extend expiring healthcare subsidies, a demand Republicans have so far refused to include. With the Senate now adjourned for the weekend, a quick resolution appears unlikely.
On health care, they've decided to shut down the government rather than work with us. And they've decided they would rather make up lies about illegal immigrants than talk about the actual issue at stake. The reality that Republicans are letting premiums more than double. Newsflash, Republican areas are actually going to face some of the biggest price jumps if they refuse to save health care.
President Trump and GOP leaders have increased pressure on Democrats, threatening permanent layoffs and withholding funding. Federal agencies have also issued partisan messages blaming Democrats. Republicans in turn accuse Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer of prolonging the shutdown to gain favor with progressive voters ahead of the 2028 elections.
They have taken hostage the federal government and, by extension, the American people, who are the only losers in this. Everybody's talking about who wins and who loses and who gets the blame. That's not what this is about. This is about what's doing in the best interest of the American people.
Some centrist Republicans warn that the administration's strategy of freezing funds for Democratic-led states and using divisive rhetoric is creating a bad faith environment that could extend the shutdown further. The shutdown has already become the fifth longest in U.S. history. Nearly $28 billion in infrastructure funds have been withheld from Democratic states like New York, California, and Illinois. The longest shutdown began on December 22, 2018, under President Trump. It extended after 35 days when lawmakers passed a spending bill that excluded his demand for $5.7 billion in border wall funding. A budget dispute between President Bill Clinton and a Republican-led Congress led to a 22-day shutdown starting December 16, 1995. It ended on January 6, 1996. Under President Barack Obama, the government shut down in October 2013 after Republicans sought to delay or defund the Affordable Care Act. It ended after 16 days alongside a debt ceiling agreement. Ravinder Chauhan's report for DD India.